All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a question for you guys. Well, it actually comes from Renee, but she's making me ask you guys. So, today's episode, why do men tend to leave good women?
Okay. My question to that is there a difference between when they're in a relationship, as in dating, or whenever they're married?
I think it'd be either or. Like, if you're in a relationship and you see a guy leave a good woman, what could or would be some of the typical reasons you would hear? Mace Lou?
I mean, I would say I've left good women before. There's people in my past I can think back and say they were probably a good option for me. I would say everything from not being ready to settle down to thinking the grass is always greener on the other side. I always think like you're always looking for additional options. You're always like, there's somebody else better that could possibly be out there for me. You point out little things that might be wrong with the person instead of dealing with it and putting up with it. You kind of start to look around and see other options and think, well, I can probably get with that person and it'll be better. And it's most of the time not really better. So yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Actually, is that I could technically look back and say, there's good women that I hope I've dated.
Yeah.
Right? I would hope I can't sit here and say that, it's a bad one. But I think mostly what I would say is timing. Right? It's a timing of it all. Where I am particularly in life, what I'm planning on doing, I've always said that if you have someone who's ready to settle down and you have someone who wants to kind of live that, the adventurous life, wants to go out and travel, having both of those and neither one wanting to kind of give in is really difficult. So it's nothing that she did wrong. It's just like, well, I want to do this or you're wanting to do that. And just timing's not here at this very second.
But isn't that something that you talk about first in the relationship when you get together? Don't you talk about like, hey, I want this, I want to settle down versus like, well, I don't want to settle down. I mean, I don't know. I've been in the same relationship since I was 15, but I figure now, like,
Yeah.
Isn't that something that you talk about in the beginning so you're not wasting each other's time?
I think you do. I don't mean to cut you off, but I think you do have that conversation. But I think a lot of times you kind of look past it sometimes and you try to make it work. Like you say, well, the other person's going to give in eventually. And so, for example, I can think of a person where at one point I wanted to have kids. She didn't. And you kind of hope that the other person changes their mind maybe. Like you can look past it. Things are going to work out. And the other person thinks the exact same thing. Well, you're going to give in and you're going to change your mind. And like you said, a lot of times you do end up hurting each other or hanging on for too long.
We knew somebody in college who was like that. Those like they were together, but they wanted two different things, and they stayed together for at least a year or two, and they lived like separately in different cities.
They were together for a long time, actually. They ended up moving in together. But they did actually. He was very adamant that he wanted kids, and he said that's his goal. And she was very adamant that she said, "I don't want kids." She literally said, "I don't want kids." And she had a very good reason. She said she came from Mexico, and her parents worked very, 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 very hard. And she said, I feel like my parents gave everything for me to get an education, for me to get a good job. And she basically said, I feel like kids hinder what I'm planning on doing, right? And so they ended up not working out because they went separate ways. But to give another reason to that is I've been in a situation where we've talked about it and we're all on the same page, what, hey, I want this, you want this, but my environment changed, right? I got a new job, the people I was hanging out with were different, and it changed my mentality. I was ready, but I changed the people I was hanging out. You kind of see a different life, and I'm kind of enjoying this life that I'm over here with, and I'm enjoying going out. I'm enjoying this kind of life. Now my mentality has officially changed because I kind of want to see what this is like for a little while. And so I think, you should have that conversation early, but, your mentality could probably change quite a bit.
Well, you can grow in different times.
Yeah.
You grow in different directions. And you're either going to grow together, you're going to grow apart. So that's...
To be, and we just gave all super nice answers, so to give a very not nice answer, I would assume some guys probably leave good women for boredom. I would assume, things probably just got bored, right?
Still.
Yeah. Some people I talked about this with Nate yesterday. Some people really like change, right? Some people really like change. Some people like same things, right? Some people like what do they call it? Not schedules, but
Routine.
routine. Yeah, some people like routine, some people like change. And I think if you're with someone who likes change, who likes that, and you're not that, I think a boredom can kind of creep in, and they're like, well, that's
Like the excitement. Is
yeah,
out
the
there.
excitement
Yeah.
of it is gone, and that hurts like the vibe. I'm trying to use big words. Vibe.
One thing I was thinking about was commitment, or like stay together like for the long run. Like at first it's all nice and dandy, we're dating, we're on the same page, but then you realize, oh, this person wants to like settle down one day. So like like I don't want that. So that could be one reason.
Yeah, or like I get what you're saying, trying to force someone to be something they're
Yeah,
not, to fit your mold of a perfect woman, even though she's a good woman.
Like nothing's wrong with her, but she's not.
Would you?
Well, my
would you
expectations
vision-
were high.
Yeah.
Well, I guess to the question, like why guys leave good women, like good women is let's say for instance like a career wise, like some women make more than their significant others, and I guess ego plays a part in that, and guys sometimes don't like that, not even as far as what they think, but maybe their peers or friends or people around them say, oh, like how could you let your significant other make more than you? So like kind of like those viewpoints as far as like who's the breadwinner, like Naomi was saying from the beginning, things have changed, and people are still set in their old ways, I guess.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah.
too successful.
Yeah.
Like she's too successful.
Intimidation
can't.
and yeah.
And so the guy thinks I'll never satisfy her, like, or
Mm-hmm.
whenever there's like one's actually like smarter. Remember we watched on the show that we're watching right now?
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, and she was like, no, he's too smart. There's no way I can compete with that. She's like, I didn't even go to college.
If you kind of feel like you're dragging this person down, like,
You set unrealistic expectations for yourself.
correct. Yeah, exactly. And that you yourself kind of feel like you're not meeting that, and like
Yeah.
I'm holding you back. I'm holding you back from your career. I'm holding you back from what you're doing because I can't keep up with your amazingness. Maybe they have a really good KD on Call of Duty or something like that. So
I think another reason is that we're just dumb. I think a lot of times, like we overthink things. We're just dumb. Like there's no other way to explain it. And it's we make dumb decisions. We do dumb things, and a lot of times it ends up hurting the other person and hurting ourselves.
especially to tie things in to let people into a guy's point of view is combining what Jesus said on another episode with just that just that is Jesus said, like, people really care about like their friends' opinion. So to have a group of guys together that are all acting dumb, that are like filling their head in with nonsense could lead to you making stupid decisions. So
What? So you're trying to say like who you hang around with?
correct, who you hanging around with, because if
Well,
you're
if
hanging
you
out with a
change your
bunch of
mindset,
if
yeah.
you're hanging out with a bunch of like bachelor dudes too that are going out consistently, and they're like, come on bro, she's holding you back, bro, like come on, you could be out here with us hanging out, and
Look at all these
you
girls.
know, with all these girls, look at these girls we're bringing around, and you could kind of leave that
Oh,
to,
that's like
Yeah.
Mesa with the grass is greener on
Grass
the
is
other
greener.
side.
yeah, like the grass is greener type of situation, and as a guy, like that 100% could happen, like, because guys are dumb. And yeah, they're very dumb, and they're very egotistic. And and
Egotistic.
they kind of compare that stuff. So
And another thing is and I don't even know if I can say this, but like a pissing competition. Like you see your friend's girl, or you see another girl that one of your friends has, and you look at your girlfriend and think, well, maybe she's not quite as attractive or something like that. And then you can leave for someone that is actually good for you.
like she does this or does that, and
Yeah, or like based off looks, or based off like you're saying, like my wife stays home and cooks for me and makes me lunch or whatever, but your wife works and you have to make your own lunch, whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think, Devin? I'm just getting coming from this the single guy,
Singles. Okay.
What
you
That
what
works
is
out.
that works out all the time. When you're at the gym pumping iron,
okay.
you know what I mean?
Like,
What do you think about some reasons that you would, that you might, get,
you talking about like leave a good woman, or
Yeah.
just? I think one of them, what y'all said was like being in my head. Like thinking, oh, this person's not good enough for me. Like, cause I might I have a job that doesn't make a lot. She might make a lot, so I think, oh well, she's not gonna want me. There's no reason why she with me, so I'm just gonna go ahead out the situation.
Do you think guys, coming from girls,
Women.
Girls.
Women.
do you think guys handle breakups completely different than women do? Do you think guys regret it a lot more than women do? I guess is the question.
I think this is how it goes.
Okay.
So I think guys like immediately they're like, oh yeah, I'm good, and they go out and they have fun and they party and whatever, they're doing great. And in the woman's mind, the woman doesn't do that. I think the women let out the emotion, and then when the guy's done with his little parties time, he sometimes wants to come back. At that point, the woman's already cried you out, let you go, she's done. And she's done. And that's how it goes.
I think I remember seeing like a meme.
I remember seeing that too. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Girls
That's how it
cry
goes.
it and
It's
let
like an
let out
opposite.
the emotion, and they're done. And once they're done, you're gonna try to come back, and she's gonna be like, no, I've already let you go. Sorry.
Dang.
So yeah,
So
I think so.
would you say that men are more receptive to trying it again opposed to women?
Probably because I feel like they go out there and experience. They realize, oh, she was really good, and then they try to come back. But then, sorry, it's too late because the girl's already cried out and got all her emotions out.
What if we go back mid-cry? Like you're just
Then maybe you
mid-cry.
might have a chance. You come back mid-cry, you might have a chance. Depends on what you
Text
did,
would be like, what is your level of crime right now?
Right. So like,
what you did, how bad was
timeline
it.
look like?
Yeah.
What are
there
we
we
gonna?
go. Let's say if I wanted to push it as far
Yeah.
back as I could.
Okay, how long are we together?
How long? Let's say we weren't married,
Okay.
but we were dating for like 3 years plus.
So past like the honeymoon phase.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I would get past the honeymoon phase. Yeah, let's say about 3 years.
And
like a
like,
real
what
relationship.
ended it? Like, how was it? Just
don't
like
know, I mean,
we were.
He left you.
Yeah,
He just left me
you.
because suppose.
It's an
Oh, he
art-
wanted to hang out with the guys.
Too
like
many
he,
variables.
like he
We just
thought.
wanted a standard answer. If you needed, like, if I were to tell Devin, okay, your Jeep right now, it's probably gonna last you 7 years. I'm not gonna be like, but if you also take it in the ocean, I want a standard answer of you could say
Ballpark me.
yes. How long can I stretch that time limit before I can go back?
Oh, that's gonna be hard. So how long can you be gone? Probably 3 years. I think I'd probably So if we've been together about 3 years,
All the equations are popping up in the air above
we've
her.
been together 3 years, and let's say the split wasn't. We've never done this before, like this on and off stuff. I'm gonna say you have about a month.
It's a pretty good time. It's a good. Oh, Bree shaking her head here.
No.
I was gonna give you 2 weeks, but I was like, nah, I'll give you about a
All
month.
right, you get a month hall pass.
Because it's 3 years.
Basically, that's
Okay.
that's what you're saying.
All right, Bree.
So it's a month and like that's it. Like I'm not gonna go back after
Uh-huh.
3 years and they didn't do anything wrong.
Yes. Like he has a month to try to realize what he had. Sorry.
She's
Okay.
just saying like it's gonna take a month.
Like
To get over
For-
him.
Uh-huh.
like
Right,
let's say
to
that
get
he
over.
leaves. No, not to get over him. But he
Wait,
leaves.
what? I thought that was.
I know.
Oh, is that the question?
Yeah.
No. The question is, how long will it take for you to take him back?
Yeah.
Like, is
How
a month,
time
and
period
it's
do I
no
give
matter
him?
what he can do, you are not getting back with him.
Yeah, to get over him.
He has a month to
Well,
realize.
I don't know. I guess I don't know because I don't know if that's necessarily getting over with somebody. Can you still feel sad about somebody but not really want to be with them anymore?
Yeah.
Like I would assume so too.
Yeah.
Like the relationship's not gonna work, but I still miss them,
Yeah.
right? Like is how I would take that. So
Yeah.
like when you say like this is a cutoff, we're not getting back together anymore.
Yeah. Like 3 years is a long time, so I think it would take a while to get over that person. But you have about a month to realize what you have, and then I'm not gonna take you back.
But what if those feelings start coming back? You know, y'all have a friendly conversation.
No.
Then you just remember, say, hey, remember that time we went to the park?
I
and
don't think
I
I'd
got you
allow-
ice cream.
I wouldn't allow it to get there.
Because of that month.
Yeah,
what you're talking
because it's just like you should have realized it, and that's a long time. A month, I think. I think a month is a long time.
I mean, I think you can get a good amount of partying done in a month.
You have like a timer on your phone. This
Yep.
guy has a countdown on your Facebook. This guy-
30 days.
I honestly think like I would probably cry for 2 weeks straight. I would go to work still, but after that, and then after that, I'd be like, okay, I'm going back to the gym. You know how that's what it always happens. You get back, you're back. I'm coming back, and then he has about 2 weeks to get it together. If not, see you later. And of course, it's gonna suck still for a while, but at that point,
It's like
how?
the
What
real
about
life.
you? What about guys?
As guys, what's a timetable? That's so hard because I don't.
We're gonna do exactly what Nate did.
Oh, what are the variables?
What did she do? How mad was I?
Super bad.
It's the same question
Well,
to
it's
me,
funny.
but it's you.
It's like for me, it's almost like backwards, right? Like I would need time, like I would need a month to like not be back together with you, to calm down, to figure out what's happening. And then after that, maybe like it's kind of an open book. Like if 5 years down the line and we meet up somewhere at a library and we start conversating, I could see it being different.
So there's the difference. Do you see what that was, what he just said? I need about a month because I don't want to be with you. So by the time you realize that you want to be with me, it is way too late. That's the difference between the guy and the girl.
Well, okay, my month was a little bit exaggerating, but I would need time to like calm
Yes.
down, right? I would need like a week
But
or
why
2
are you
weeks.
calm down about what? You're not the mad one. You're the one
Well,
that
no,
chose
we
to
flip
left.
roles.
Yeah.
the roles are obviously flipped now at this
Oh,
point. So
I
you
bet.
let the woman left me. So
Oh, okay.
the roles are flipped. Of
Oh.
course, if I left you, then the doors open up forever. But if you left me, then I think there's that timetable where I got to kind of figure things out, and like I don't really want to talk to you right now. I don't want anything to do with you at this
Yep.
moment.
So
Then
you're
after I've calmed down, then I got to decide at that point. But I think after that, like I don't have like a timetable. Like if I met you a year, 2 years down the road, and life changed, and I met you and we hit it off again, and who cares? But yeah. So what I'm saying is, I need 2 weeks of that door closed. Then we'll reopen, and then we'll see what happens in life.
So you don't have a deadline, or
Correct.
guys don't really have a deadline.
I don't think we cut it off as easily as women do. I think you
Yeah.
definitely leave the door open, and even if it's slightly open, like it's still open, you leave the possibility of the relationship becoming a thing again. But I do agree with Patrick that I definitely need time. I'm the type where if we're fighting, like if I'm with my girlfriend and we're fighting, I don't want to talk to you. Don't come, trying to fix everything immediately, because this is going to make me even more mad. Like, I absolutely need space. Go away. Don't talk to me. And then when I'm cool, then we'll figure it out at that point. So, I definitely need time as well. I'd say a couple weeks, too.
Boom. Stepped into the mind of a
Or it's
man.
been like, poop, see you later.
Maybe.
And that's the case. Yeah, then we just
like,
move on.
I think that's the thing is even after like that, we're saying like the 2 weeks I need to calm down. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm knocking at your door, week 3. But
Yep.
that just means if the door is still open on the woman's side and if I'm ready to receive that invitation, then okay. But like I'm not saying 2 weeks is up, I'm running back to you. No. It's just saying like according to you, it doesn't matter. Like Devin said, what if you meet him and he's wowing you again? Nope, cut off, doesn't matter what happens. Rather than us, not necessarily I'm trying to fix it immediately after 2 weeks, but if something were to happen, it's not like an immediately locked door.
Yeah. Which is so funny because it's just funny to see the difference, because I do think, and I've had ex-girlfriends in the past where once you hit that limit, like it's done. Like
Yeah.
they'll cut it off and be like never again. And I think guys are way more receptive to trying it again.
I think it's because we're more emotional and we really it takes us out, and we deal with it immediately. And I think guys push things away. So guys tend to not deal with the emotion, especially in the beginning, and girls just deal with it, and it hits us hard, like the depression. So then when you want to come back, you're like, hell no, I'm not going to put myself through that again. I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to go through that and put myself and my heart and my tears and go through that with you again. And you're all like, I'm happy y'all coming back. And girls, yep, it's because we're just different. Do you agree? We have free here. What do you think? I don't know, maybe I'm too deep.
I mean, I definitely agree that, that when it does happen, we get very emotional. We just let all of our feelings out versus men. I feel like they don't really let out their emotions. And if they do, I feel like it comes back to they're not manly enough because they're letting out their emotions to their guy friends or whatever. So, I mean, I agree with you on that part that, we do let out our emotions and we don't want to go through that again because it is an awful feeling.
Oh, well, I don't know how this works, but this is the woman becomes mom. I don't know what that means.
Oh, nagging.
Just call your mom.
No,
You just say your mom nags.
Okay. Sometimes she does.
Everything about that was wrong.
Oh my god.
Like you, like she became.
Get a light bulb.
Oh my
Get a light bulb. Fucking Just come
I'm
on
sorry,
his head.
Like the woman's so good, she became mom.
Right,
And so
like,
some men,
Oh.
hey, did you eat your breakfast?
Right.
And
Right.
that's a good woman to some people, but to some they're like, no, that's too far. I don't want you to be my mom.
Is that
And
Devin?
obviously, that was Devin. Yeah.
Nagging.